Okay, so this is a question I received about the homework for section 1.4, number 16. And it says write an equation for the lowest degree polynomial with the graph and intercepts shown in the figure for this exercise, and make the leading coefficient so that it is going to be positive or negative 1. So I simply call this writing a polynomial equation from a graph. And what we have to do is we need to find some points that we know the exact x and y value of from the graph. So we want some really clean points. And we're going to put these points into our calculator or into GeoGebra for a recursion of a polynomial. Now, this graph, I had a hard time trying to determine which points were the exact ones. Even here, it looked like this point up here was negative 1, 9, negative 1, 10. But they give us this button here so that we can get a bigger image of the graph that is clearer to read. And when you click on it, you get this graph. And once looking at this, I saw that it was negative 1, 8. So without clicking that button on this example, you would have a hard time finding the exact points that you need. This is 0, 0. Here we have 3, 0. And here we have 1, 0. Now we see that it crosses the x-axis 3 times. So from that, we know that it is at least a cubic polynomial. So it is an x to the cubed graph. And to get the equation of a graph, you need one more point than the highest exponent. So since this is an exponent of 3, we would need at least 4 or more points to generate a cubic polynomial. If it was an exponent of 2, you would need 3 or more points. And an exponent of 1, 2 or more points, and so on and so forth. So we have something that crosses the x-axis 3 times that tells us it's a cubic, and we've identified 4 clean points. So we're going to take these 4 points and put them into our calculator. And I've shown you in the video lessons on using the recursion analysis features of your calculators how to enter this into list 1 and list 2. Remember, list 1 are your x coordinates, list 2 are your y coordinates, and you would get here by hitting stat, and edit would be the first feature. After you've entered your points, you hit the stat button again, but then you move your right arrow over to the calc menu, and we're going to choose option 6 for cubic regression. And once you've done that, you verify that list 1 is your X list, that list 2 is your Y list, and you come all the way down. This actually says calculate once you highlight it, and you hit enter. Once you've done that, it'll give you this image on screen. We see that the A is the x cubed, so we can write y equals negative 1 x cubed. The B is 4, so plus 4x squared. The C is minus 3, so minus 3x. And the D value, we have to just do some interpretation here. It is 1.92. The E means times 10 to the negative 12th power. So that's E for exponent of negative 12 on our base 10. And if you were to move this 10 to the negative 12th, that means move that decimal 12 to the left, because it's negative 12, you'd have 0.110192. And anytime you see an e to the negative 12th, that really means that this number is 0. It's so small, so we enter this as a 0. So plus 0 would be your constant, so there's no need to even list that. That makes this your final answer you should enter for a problem like this.